man. What do you think we're doing out here, man? Just taking in the views? Nah, man, we're getting made. What's up, anglers? How's it going? Man, it's been a minute, and this is not the Get Made Studios, man, and this is Luke James. Let me just start it off real quick. Luke James, RHA Tackle, Real Hooked Anglers. All right, and we're gonna be talking with Luke, man. I'm excited to have him. I'm excited to have you on the show, man. I'm gonna talk to you. Yeah. I'm excited to have you on the show, bro. We've been wrapping out for about a year, almost, and hit and miss last season. Hit and miss on me trying to go up there for some things happening.
Thanks to COVID.
Yeah, exactly. Thanks to COVID. That's the excuse these days. So
there's been a lot of roadblocks. However, finally we get the connection. We're over here at Big Bear 2020 Trout Fest.
2021.
Excited to finally link up with my dude Mike. And now we got the tripod in the works.
We do. We're on the tripod. Steve will do it. He's going to sue me for that one.
Take one leg out, we all fall.
Yeah.
So excited to be here with Mike. We've been trying to get into this trout these last couple days, but it's been pretty slow here at Big Bear. Western Outdoor News is a pod featuring us over here. We're sponsoring the tournament, which is an excellent opportunity to finally have.
Yeah, it is, man. Being a local company, you know what I mean? And being a Northern California company, just because there is a difference in fishing. Styles, techniques, it's all the same, you know, to an extent, as far as the passion for that I've noticed, you know, through social media and everything like that, and getting to know you a little bit more.
Yep.
And I think I have some theories of why you do what you do with spoons. And if you guys don't know RHA Tackle, that's exactly what he does, custom made spoons. All right, and they're sick, man. And I don't know, I've seen, you know, we're going to talk about your pro staff later on. Really good friend of mine. You guys seen him here on the channel. He was awesome and invited us over to Fin and Feather, Rob, Seaspanker Outdoors. He's here in the building. Dude, it's just crazy here, man. It's been, we've probably been messing around and BSing for about an hour, just setting everything up and trying to get on the show right now, get this starting rolling, because it was a perfect opportunity. Like Luke said, he's out down here right now, Big Bear, Western Outdoor News Trout Fest tournament. And I did one 3 years ago, and it was tough. And we're going to talk about your fishing today. Also been tough for you guys a little bit, or let's start off, how's the tournament going, man? We're going to get into Luke James.
Yeah.
But right now, we're talking about Big Bear. This has brought us together, man. This has brought us together. So I had to come up here, had to meet you. You're technically in my neck of the woods.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So glad to have you here, bro.
Thank you.
So how's the fishing been today, Big Bear?
Man, it's been a grind, as it is every day. Some days are better than others. You know, it's a mathematical equation to figure out what works best that day. You try to replicate it, change it a little bit subtly. Figure out that systematic approach, and then once that happens, then you get that program for success. With that all being said, today has been a rough one. You know, I caught the skunk. Usually when I go out a day before, I'll do pretty good before, you know, the day before pre-fishing. Same situation happened this trip. It was a crazy trip with no sleep, as usual. However, I was lucky enough to make it.
Where'd you drive down from? Northern California, about what area?
I'm actually located over in San Jose, Bay Area. So it was a 6.5-hour trip.
Dedication, anglers. Dedication, that D.
Yep, that's what I was talking about.
Yeah, exactly. You know, and you guys know that's what the Get Made show came about and exists, to go over what, you know, your journey was to, you know, in my world, get made. You know what I mean? And what you do for the sport, for the love of fishing, man. And,
yeah.
Speaking of fishing and your love for fishing, it's just not trout. You know, being in Northern California, this is my theory, anglers, why Luke put some dope spoons out there, because of the fisheries that are unique to Northern California.
Yep.
Correct? And it's kind of, you took it, if I'm not mistaken, I'm gonna let you tell your story, Luke.
Yeah.
But if I'm not mistaken, you took it from a bigger scale, salmon, and brought it down to trout. And the stockings, the last few years, it's just been, a little bit more popular. We have the mini jig, and I like to say you guys have the spoons.
Yeah, that's completely accurate as far as what Mike's saying. So over here in Nor Cal, I noticed we have a niche with the spoons. However, SO Cal, they've been all into the mini jigs.
Right.
Drop shotting, double drop shotting, the whole 9 yards. I figured it'd be a good idea to try to show these guys this little secret that I activated up there in the Nor Cal scene, and just bring it down over here, because as I said earlier, you take some sort of program of success and then you change it a little subtle bit, and sometimes that little subtle change allows you to gain that success a lot faster than other people that don't have that niche. So I'm not saying necessarily that mine are gonna catch more fish than others. However, it's still a little arsenal in the tackle box, and it gives you something, to check out, every day. Because as I said, every day is different with fishing. So you got to go through the whole 9 yards. So
yeah, absolutely. I definitely agree with having that arsenal in your tackle box, anglers. And like Lou said, and I've said it in my podcast. I've told you guys, if you guys want to be a YouTuber, do whatever. Make baits, whatever it is, just do it your way. Do it differently. Put your spin on it. Luke's not doing anything new. He's just putting his creativity into it, man. And that's what gets you made, dude. So, where'd you grow up? Tell me about your first fishing experience, Luke, and what got you kind of like to this point, man.
As a kid, honestly, I couldn't tell you the first trip, because I've always been fishing, hunting, as I can remember from my dad's always tried to teach me these values as far as the outdoors and respecting nature and harvesting animals correctly and not wasting those resources that are provided for us. So one of the first fondest memories I could say is probably salmon fishing out of Santa Cruz in an old dink boat that would break down all the time. And even though it would break down and we'd have to figure out different things to fix it while we're out there getting stuck, we were still catching fish. And I haven't really had my sea legs until recently, but
I've seen that.
Now I haven't looked back. So it's been a lot of fun stuff.
Yeah, I'm in the same kind of, no pun, boat as far as getting salt made. You know what I mean? Getting out there on the salt water. Being in the Navy, I have another respect and appreciation for the ocean. You know what I mean? With being an angler now, and it's a different animal, a different beast. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of that transitions. Being a saltwater angler has helped me pin and land bigger trout.
True.
Because most of the time, all saltwater fish that I've known, you got to keep them pinned. You know what I mean? There's different elements, man. You know what I mean? And they're just stronger and things like that. But it's helped me. So the dink boat with your dad. And did you guys get another boat? Did your dad last like forever? Or do you have to retire it? And what happened?
Funny story is went from saltwater as a kid, where I started. Parkway Lakes over there by Coyote Bait and Tackle was my next starting point. Now it got closed down, but that was a nice little trout fishery. They had a sturgeon, bass, crappie, the whole 9 yards. A lot of good fish.
I know a lake like that down here in SO Cal.
Which is?
Cuyamaca.
Okay.
Sturgeon.
So we can relate. See, they had some sturgeon there too, but they got shut down. A lot of legal issues. So that was my first little foot in the door as far as trout fishing goes.
Yeah.
My pops is more as far as like a fisherman, more situated for the saltwater game. However,
is that how you grew up?
Yes, it's been all in the rock cod, lingcod, halibut, salmon game since a kid, and his dad taught him the same values that I did. He was military raised Marine.
Awesome.
So I got the old school mentality, yep, and taught a lot of the values, as I said, from being able to respect the environment and those resources that they provide. So I'm all for the armed forces and first responders. So
thanks for your family sacrifice, man, and support.
Appreciate it.
That's awesome, dude. That's awesome.
You too, man. You too, brother.
Thank you, man. I do. It's any vet might tell you this. Might feel the same way as like it was the job we were doing. You know what I mean? Or anybody that was serving community, what have you. You know what I mean? But families sacrifice too, and a lot of people, the families don't get enough credit, for sure. But awesome tradition, just carried on.
True.
With you guys, cool. So, when did you start really getting into trout? Has that been, when did that happen?
As I said, my foot got in the door about I don't know, I was probably like 10 or so.
Okay.
I got to go to Colorado, dip my foot in the game with some native fishing. Nice. As you were saying earlier, alluding to the sacrifice for the game, I had to dip my feet in the water for a few stringers that were lost with some big ones, but that ice cold water.
Sometimes you have to get wet.
It teaches you some lessons,
It does.
to tie your stringer right and all this. So it was a lot of fun. That's back in the spinner game when I was getting into the spinners.
Like MEPs.
Yeah, a lot of MEPs, blue foxes I was using. Yeah. The whole 9 yards.
You get your hands on pretty much.
Anything I could as a kid, even little bobber drifts and stuff with like soft plastics. I was even experimenting with that, and the salmon game though, like it just got me started, and like I said, the trout is just similar, and you can't really compare to the salmon fight out of any fish, and the head shakes and just everything.
I haven't caught a salmon. Not yet, but I mean, the Hottons, the cutties, I would imagine probably same caliber. I don't know. We'll find out.
Yeah,
we're
going to find out soon.
We started that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So have you always been creative?
Yeah, man.
I love being creative. You got it. It's everybody has that in us, one way or another. You know what I mean? And you have to tap into your creativity. You know what I mean? And were you an artist? Did you draw, paint?
Yeah.
Or did you just pick it up? Tell me where RHA Tackle started.
I'd say the inception of RHA Tackle began as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I was always into art, always looking for ways to figure out different, I guess you could say, systematic approaches to figuring out color schemes or different things. And as I said, I was a fisherman always, so I took that obsession into the same aspect, and it just.
Let me ask you something, because I think I struggle with it also. Being an angler, we're so technical, and there's, like you said, there's that precision and calculation and thought.
Mm-hmm.
But as a creative, it's kind of clashes.
It contradicts, yeah.
It contradicts one.
Yes, it does.
Creative, you're supposed to just be free.
True.
Right? So I think might be one of the only mediums, being an angler and being creative in what you're doing makes sense, because you're taking that real life calculation of on the water,
mm-hmm.
Calculations and thoughts and theories and facts from experience.
Yep.
And then, you're taking that and cool, I know crappie colors work in a bass lake, but me personally, I might not, even with nail polish, it was going to look like crap, look like shit. You know what I mean? So that's where the creativity comes in, where now you're free to let your mind, because you already have an idea. So it makes sense on any, painting or whatever creative form you're doing,
mm-hmm.
but that's awesome, man. You use that and you have an advantage.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of people airbrushing, I don't even know the half clue of it, bro. So is that how you started, or with RHA Tackle?
Mm-hmm.
And then I don't know what other secrets or mediums you use, or I know
I can't tell all my secrets.
No, I'm not.
But,
I know.
Okay.
But I don't know. I know probably big secret. I don't know.
Okay,
no,
so
but what I'm trying to get at is, I know I went on a little freaking tangent right here.
Salute.
This is
Salute.
probably why. But for real, I got it. You got it. It's bad luck if you don't. We do have a studio audience. Can we clap? Studio audience. Can we get an applause? Thank you, thank you. So totally contradicts. Mm-hmm. And so where do you elevate in that?
Well,
what sets you apart as RHA Tackle?
I'd say what sets me apart is the eyes. I try to make my eyes a focal point. You know what? The process I go through is completely meticulous. Every single spoon I have, I go through hand to eye. It's only me going through there. A lot of sleepless nights and a lot of hard work goes into this. So, I mean, it all started, I think, as just a young artist, you know. I took a lot of art classes as a kid. I was lucky enough to be able to dip my feet into that because my grandfather was in the Western Art Hall of Fame for just pastels and different things. So I guess you could say I got that on my side, but a lot of hard work, I'd say. You know, anyone could do anything they want. It's just a matter of the passion that they put behind it and
put the practice into
the practice,
the time, you know,
experience.
And that's what probably, and now, how long has RHA Tackle been doing its thing?
We've been around since 2018 as a fishing club.
Okay.
It was small. It was just me and one of my buddies. That's how we started. And then we were just messing around with the idea as far as, you know, let's do our own spoons, this and that. You know, this would be cool to do. We had a few buddies that dipped their feet in the game. There was a few local guys that would circulate the East Bay Lakes, and it kind of gave us this passion for it and this idea: how can we improve what they're doing and put our spin on it to set us apart and just you know, just make us the far superior spoon producers in the game and set ourselves apart. You know, we can do custom spoons at orders too. You know, if anyone has an idea, they send us a DM or send us a picture, and you know, we can replicate that or make that better. You know, so
I think that's better. You know, anglers, it's cool to if you're watching this, you might not be going to Walmart and grabbing a Thomas Boyant, though those are tried and true classics. You know, this is why I do in the show, so you could support local anglers making this stuff and out there on the water, R&D. We're gonna take a break here soon, Luke. Okay, and I saw your prototype case. We're not gonna break those out, but I want to show the people some of your spoons. Sorry about that. I didn't mean to insult you.
We can jig them.
You could jig. That's
the cool part.
That's the thing.
You could vertical jig them.
I just got off Mexican waters 5 days. And sit,
I like you brought that up. I'm glad you brought that up.
Jigging, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You know, so I didn't mean mini jig. You know what I mean? You knew what I meant,
dude.
Thank you, Luke. Anyways, we're gonna take a break, and I just want you to come up. You know, bring back some couple patterns. And kind of just talking about it a little bit, and then we'll talk about what RHA Tackle got going on right now, and what you got in store for the future, maybe.
Excellent.
All right,
appreciate
we'll be back, anglers. Here's a word from our sponsor. That's right, we got sponsored, Luke. Take it away. What's up, anglers? Check out RHA Tackle at realhookedanglers.net. Save 20% when you spend $50. 20% off only when you're a made Patreon. And we're back, anglers. Hope you enjoyed that commercial break from our sponsor. Back with Luke James of RHA Tackle. And we left off with kind of where RHA Tackle is at right now. And we're not going to show the prototype spoons. You know what I mean? He showed me. You know, maybe I'll take a picture for the Patreon. I don't know. We'll talk about that. Speaking of Patreon, Patreon is live, okay? Link is in the description below. If you're a made one, go ahead, get on this Patreon. You'll get that exclusive content. Also, RHA Tackle, Luke, I want to thank you, bro, for being a sponsor of the Made Patreon page. not only is Luke donating these sick spoons for our monthly contests, but if you're a Made Patreon, you get an exclusive, like for just us, okay, discount at RHA Tackle, 15% when you spend $50, anglers.
You know what? Let's upgrade that to 20.
Are you? Nah, bro.
Yeah.
You serious?
Yeah, let's do 20.
Anglers, RHA Tackle, 20%, Made Patreons. Dude, thank you. Thank you. I'm cheers.
Got you, bro.
I'm thanking him for you. All right. Cheers, studio audience. Can we get an applause for that, studio audience? Thank you, Luke.
Yeah, dude.
Thank you, dude.
It means a lot for the opportunity to link up with you finally, you know?
No, absolutely.
It's humbling.
No, it is, man. And we were just talking off camera during the break, and we did have a break. And because we wanted to, we were talking about how we're just vibing, and this has been a long time coming, man. And I'm glad we're sitting here. And speaking of where RHA Tackle is at now, and those dope spoons that you could win in our contest, Made Patreon page, we're going to talk about some of the patterns. And if you guys were looking at the trout while we were talking and you noticed, all right, drop a comment. Let us know if you noticed, okay? So Luke's going to busted out some patterns, probably some of his favorites or some that he think might help you guys out. I don't know. I'm not going to assume. I'm not going to guesstimate. I'm going to let Luke do his thing. So RHA Tackle, Luke, dude.
All right, guys, let's break it down. First off top, we got 4-gram weights over here. All of these patterns are unique in itself. All of these are custom. You're not going to get the same one. It's all going to be like a fingerprint. I try to put the passion into every single one of these as if it's going to be coming out of my same personal tackle box. And I want you guys to have that same respect and that same benefit that I have. With that being said, some of these patterns that I got on lock over here are some of the ones that have been working for some of my pro staff anglers as well as some of the affiliates. For example, this 4-gram jawbreaker. I'm not too concerned as far as the brass or the nickel finish goes. I'm more concerned as far as the paint goes, okay? So with that being said, it's up to you guys to decide what you want. However, they are as effective as they are in nickel or brass, okay?
May I explain nickel or brass? Or may you explain it? I know, but I'd love you to explain nickel or brass. So nickel is the silver. Brass is the brownish gold. Explain the difference and why is it important to angling?
Okay, as Mike was alluding, there is a difference as far as the nickel and brass. However, to me, it doesn't make too much of a difference. It's more about the confidence in what you are throwing. Different water conditions, as far as the light conditions, will affect the reflection and as far as different factors for your spoon. So with that being said, one day one nickel might work better versus the brass due to the factor of, say, it might be a darker water, murky water, cloudy day versus a sunny day. You might want to use a nickel in the morning versus a brass in the afternoon when the conditions might be a little bit different, more sun or less sun. You know, there's all these factors you must consider as an angler. However, as I said, I don't try to put that much thought into it. It's more about the confidence in which you're throwing. So if you're confident about the stuff you're throwing, it doesn't matter to me which pattern I have. Everything in every day is going to be a new experience, you know. Every fish is different, you know. So with that being said, pre-game fishing, I was lucky enough to get one off of this pink lemonade or strawberry lemonade or strawberry banana, whatever you want to call it, you know. It's got that same color scheme, you know, the pink and that gold with the white. This one happens to be a nickel. The one I caught was with a brass, and that was in the 3.0. This is a 4.0. It doesn't matter what size it is or whatever it is. It's just all about the confidence, as I said. So,
with anything. And how would, speaking of confidence, you know, anglers, I've been throwing these spoons, and I don't have that confidence yet. And it's I'm learning. I've since I think last trout season, start throwing more hard baits. So it's been a rough one for me, anglers. So can you break down the best way to fish the foreground?
Yeah.
Maybe two of the best techniques you use.
My favorite techniques with the foreground is, I'd say the pause and go. That's one of the ones that, say, if you were to cast in a fan cast method, as you should be doing every time you're out there, you're going to let it sink. As you let it sink, whenever the line goes slack, you know you're at the bottom. Of course, you count down, depending on the countdown. Every 1,000, you're assuming that's about a foot. Yep. With that being said, I try to figure out the farthest cast at first. I'm going to start probably in the middle, work my way to the left a little bit. Everyone's different. You could go right, left, doesn't matter, as long as you're getting this information in your head and you're analyzing it. Then you're good, you know. Sometimes people catches off of dumb luck, you know, but I don't like to do it that way. I have a systematic approach. I have OCD, and you know, I like to think things through.
It's great to fan cast, and it doesn't matter, you know, if you start left to right, right to left, middle, what have you. It's good to, you know, cast parallel to the shore.
True. As
well, you know what I mean? We, as trout anglers, we want to cast it far and freaking deep, man. You know, that's all we want to do. You know, that's all we want to do. But you got to, you know, fan casting is great no matter where you start, Luke was saying. But also taking in that information, each one, depth, where you're working it, each column. And after the stoke, you catching that fish, remembering.
Mm-hmm. What you did.
What you did. And that's usually, you always remember what you did when you get fucked up. You know what I mean? When a fish fucks you up. You know what I mean? It happens.
It's a lesson that you should learn. Yeah. And if you don't, then you're only going to make the same mistake again.
Exactly. So you got to remember the information, anglers, so you can repeat that process for success. As Luke started off this whole conversation with was that process of being successful.
Yeah, that program.
Yep, exactly. Cool. So what else we got?
Let's see. So we got some black gold right here. This guy's got a nice nickel finish as well.
Black and gold. That is a staple color.
Light conditions for water as well as light. You know, those are very effective for me personally. I like to throw them early in the morning. If that's not working, I'll switch more to a brighter color such as this one. You know what? This jawbreaker actually has been one of the most effective colors out of all of my patterns, hence the name jawbreaker.
I like it.
So I'm
trying to come up with these names. I love it. I love it, man. Like, it's unique. It's you know, colors. Some of the trout tackle has similar color names throughout the industry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it's dope when I hear these colors, and we were talking about a couple of them earlier.
Mm-hmm.
How'd you get jawbreaker? Obviously it looks like a jawbreaker, the coloring, white, you know what I mean? It's just different, like, colors in that jawbreaker, how it is swirled and all that. And this is paint splash. That's probably one of the secrets. He's not going to say how he does it, but I could see it, and it makes sense. And how'd you come up with that name and that concept? That's what I'm curious about.
I'm really glad you asked that question.
Okay.
This is literally one of my favorite patterns and favorite names out of all of my spoons. If I were to say there would be like a top 6, this is definitely one of the top 3. Like I said, the finish doesn't matter. To answer your question as far as how I came up with the name, it was a lot of pondering and obsession. As I said, I have OCD, so it was a constant like struggle to figure out the name, and eventually it came to me. As I said, I went to Santa Cruz for salmon fishing, and there's the boardwalk over there.
Okay.
The Santa Cruz Beach Boardwalk is famous for having their big old glass jars of jawbreakers, and I mean, if you were to look at this color scheme, it looks exactly like a jawbreaker. It's got the double name standard as far as fishing goes, so it's going to be breaking jaws. And I just like can't wait to get this pattern design patent, and anyone that's trying to infringe on that is not gonna be able to. So I'm glad
you brought that up. Not, you know, is protecting your creativity, protecting if you guys don't know, I am in that process as well, you know, and you should, as if you're trying to start any kind of business, any intellectual property that you feel you've come up with, and we're not doing anything new, man. You know, we're not. We're just making it all our own. But if you're serious about what you're doing and you want to make this your living, your passion more than hobby, you got to protect that. So that's awesome. So that's cool, man. You use a lot of influences, where you're from. You know what I mean? Santa Cruz Boardwalk and fishing. Use all these influences to come up with these names.
Yep.
Man, that's awesome. Anything else you want to talk about on these? I can't really see.
Yeah, you know what? The last pattern that's on here that we did not discuss is the Dragon Slayer.
Ooh.
This thing is one of my favorite new patterns. Oh, whoops.
Yeah, no worries.
This guy right here has been working extremely effective for one of my pro staff anglers, Seaspanker, Rob, as you guys might know. This gentleman over here has been slaying down in the SO Cal scene. It doesn't matter which lake, which waterway, whichever. If it's summer, if it's winter, fall, this guy has been slaying.
He grinds, man. I gotta say, he grinds. He grinds.
So this dragon pattern, sorry to interrupt, is a carp imitation, I would say, as me and Rob have kind of came to the conclusion of. So it's got a nice iridescent green with there, as well as the black with the gold.
Hexagon.
So this will imitate some of those baby carp fry.
Looks like those scales, yeah. For sure.
And some toads, definitely like that.
I know we got the loungy lighting right now. You know, I didn't bring my lights or anything. You know, but we're lounging in the cabin up in Big Bear.
Yes, we are. Partying it up. Oh, yeah, I couldn't be happier.
Talking about trout, talking about fishing, talking about these sick spoons, sick patterns, and their creativity and made mindset behind RHA Tackle. You're talking about Rob Seaspanker.
Yes, I am.
Seaspanker Outdoors. You guys know him from the channel, my good friend Rob. We're going to take one more break, anglers. Hear from another one of our sponsors, and we're going to get Rob on board right here at the table. Get Made Show. We'll be right back. RHA Tackle, Seaspanker Outdoors coming up. Get made. What's up, anglers? Be sure you check out Golden State Fishing over at goldenstatefishing.shop. My friends over at Golden State, they've donated a sick minnow kit, 50-piece minnow kit that we're going to be giving away for this month's on Patreon. And when you're a Patreon, you get 15% off Golden State Fishing products. Sick minnows. Like I said, caught my PB rainbow trout on that, 9 pounds out of Dixon Lake, man. Check out Golden State Fishing. He's right there. All right, anglers, we are back from our break. Thank you so much. And joining us, Rob Seaspanker Outdoors.
Yeah.
Man, dude, I just got to say, thanks for the invite. I know Mike and yourself got me up here. We've been talking about it for a little bit, and it's just, everything's just worked out, man.
Oh, yeah, man. Well, it's always good to see you, man. Always good to see you all the time, and glad you're up here and get some fishing.
Because our last... was Fin and Feather.
Fin and Feather, yeah. It's been a minute. Yeah.
It's been a minute. But you've been killing it, Rob.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Dude, you're doing. What are you talking about? Anglers. Anglers. This dude. If you're not freaking subscribed, man. You know what I mean? And, you know, I know what you've said before.
Yeah.
You know, you've watched mine, but...
Yeah.
I was a fan of you, and I'm becoming more of a fan, dude. And you are on the freaking YouTube grind right now, bro. And I just want to congratulate you. You hit your 100th video a couple months ago.
Yep.
100 ain't easy, anglers.
No, yeah, it's have a lot of passion for it, but it's a lot of work.
Absolutely. A lot of work, and a lot of great things have happened since we saw each other and fished with each other.
Yeah.
All right, one of the things we're going to talk about is Rob and RHA Tackle.
That's right.
And Luke. How did you guys link up? Rob is pro staff for RHA Tackle. Congrats again, bro. It's well deserved. You're a fucking phenomenal angler.
Yeah, because as I've told you before, and tell you anglers, I came up watching his videos before I did videos. When I was learning how to do all this stuff, it's from Mike, and he's a humble guy, and he says, that's not true. That's absolutely true. So you heard it from me first.
Yep.
Yeah. So how'd you guys hook up? No, you, bro. No. And you got this sick hand tap.
Oh, yeah.
I remember, I'm like, I saw one of your stories. I'm like, oh, dude, you got to.
Oh, there's more coming. Yeah, nice, I got too much skin over here.
Right.
I didn't get up. Yeah.
Right. So cool. Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
But how'd you guys get hooked up?
I mean, you know what? As Mike was saying, and Rob, you know, they were fans of each other, you know, and I saw, you know, a lot of the YouTube scene, and first I saw Mike, then I saw Rob, you know. I've been a fan. I've been watching from the Nor Cal scene, and I've seen what these guys have been doing. They get on a lot of these toads, and I'm more than blown away. You know, I figured it'd be a great idea to throw my stuff down here and see how these guys could activate that potential in which I was trying to create a program of success, you know. And as Rob has been doing, man, it's just been like a constant grind, yet he's been paying off because all that hard work, you know, a lot of the time, you put in the hours, you put in that time, you put in that dedication, and it better pay off. And if it doesn't, you keep trying and keep doing that same thing. You know, you change subtle things, as I said, for that program, but eventually it's going to pay off, you know.
Well, you ended up contacting me on Instagram, as I remember, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you just hit me up, and I think, well, correct me if I'm wrong, because my memory's terrible. But he messaged me and says, hey, you know, I like the channel, I like the way you fish, and I got these spoons, and would you mind, you know, if I sent you some trying them out? And
it was
a
beanie. It was a beanie I wanted to toss you, I think.
Yeah.
I was like, let me toss you a beanie, dude. I want to see you wear this, and let me get your spoons in there. I would love to make my dream come a reality.
And like I said, anglers, Luke was generous enough, probably in the same, it sounds like the same time frame. You know, you sent me some stuff as well, Luke.
Yeah.
What I have. And, you know, it's awesome because it comes full circle. It comes full circle. You know what I mean? This gum.
Damn it.
I know. It almost choked. It comes full circle, anglers. As YouTubers, you know, I'm not saying we do a lot for the community, but we do use a lot of local products. We do a lot of promotion,
right,
with not expecting anything in return.
Oh, absolutely.
And when someone comes around as generous and, you know, time, effort, money, talent into this, you know, dude, it's amazing. And, you know, game recognize game, real recognize real. That's one of the things, you know, you told me first.
I try to promote that, yeah.
Right, I think you feel the same way. Is any products or anything that will catch fish effectively, and there's good people behind it, and they're a local distributor or maker. We want to get that out to you, and we don't expect anything in return. We just want you to catch fish. That's all we care about, because we want to catch fish.
Absolutely.
You know? Yeah.
And just kind of, you know, a little insight, anglers. You know, I've said it before on the Get Made show. If you're trying to start your own business, start your own brand, start your own apparel, start your own baits, who cares? You know what I mean? These are the things you got to think about. What Luke did from a business marketing perspective, he reached out to people who were putting out content. You know what I mean? And Rob is one of the best that does it. And you couldn't have picked up a great guy. You know what I mean?
It means a lot coming from you, honestly.
You're a model. You're just like model dude, bro.
Oh, I appreciate
model
that,
dude,
man,
and solid angler, and you got great product behind you.
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean?
I saw.
So tell me about your experience with it.
He sent me pictures of it, and I was blown away. Like I was like, man, these are like little pieces of art. And he's like, well, they're handmade. I'm like, well, guess what? They're art.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So, but to be honest, I haven't fished a lot of spoons. Just like, you know, I throw a Thomas Boyan or a Castmaster now and then.
You've been killing it. You got to teach me. Like I said, I haven't gotten. It's just me.
Oh yeah.
I know it's me.
Oh yeah. Well, it's technique. I'm telling you. So I start. I've
been watching your videos. So now I need the on the water practice with.
Oh yeah. Because I've gotten to the point.
Maybe tomorrow.
Yeah, where I am confident with the spoons. Like I'm real confident with those spoons. So. I started talking to Luke. Well, how do you fish them? You know, because do you just retrieve them? Do you jig them? Do you do pauses? So we started talking back and forth. Started hitting the lakes, and this was late April, early March, or no, late March into May, I believe, or no, April to May. I'm sorry. And as you know, in SO Cal, trout season's pretty much over.
Right.
And so in the back of my head is, and I think I even told you this.
Were you throwing? Sorry to interrupt.
Yeah.
So April, May, you were throwing spoons in your opener video, if I'm not mistaken, or your next trip after.
Yes, like I threw them, but
Sierra
opener. But I wasn't successful. I was still learning. But I was hoping that I'd get into them out there. But I had just started, and I felt you know, bad. I think I told you, like I said, hey, you know, I'll fish them, but our season's almost over.
Well, you told me there was a curse going down. Everyone's got to break the curse. Everyone's got to break the curse, even me.
What's the curse?
Sometimes there's a learning method as far as that goes, and with everything that's good, there's a learning curve. And once you figure that cadence out, then there's no going back, as Rob was alluding to.
It's the aha moment.
Exactly. The aha, and once you have that, then it's like
remembering what you did, anglers. It's just see how it's coming full circle.
Exactly, the first full circle, as Mike's alluding to. It basically starts, you know. Sometimes there's tough lessons. Sometimes you got to lose some fish, you know. I've lost plenty of fish on my stuff, you know. It's either sometimes it drags too loose, sometimes you got to make sure every little point is on point for this, for everything to come into success, you know. Like fishing.
I hear a theme in this Get Made show. It's an RHA thing. It's an RHA thing for sure. It comes from, I can see it.
Yeah, well, it took me a while to get to where, A, I could get the fish to bite, and then B, get them to the beach successfully. Because for a while there, I was telling Luke, man, I was apologizing because I was getting hookups.
Yeah.
I couldn't get them to the beach.
So I've had some bites. I'm not saying I haven't caught it. I'm not saying I never had any bites. I'm saying I have not caught anything. And is there a hook set? Is there, because of the, you know, what kind of, if you can, what kind of hooks are you using? They are single hook. They're a little bit big.
Yep.
You know, so explain that curve for the anglers.
So the components in which I put on the products are number 4, number 8 sized hooks for the big eyes. The big eyes allow it to move around that split ring in an effective manner. However, as me and Rob have been discussing, and a few of the silent partners, there are some different techniques in which we might improve these guys. However, that might increase the cost. So if our anglers are interested in that, we do have some things in the work that will possibly increase these hook sets to more of an effective rate. I'm not saying these are not going to work. However, for those that are, you know, a little bit hesitant or a little bit not confident as far as I am with these hook sets or whatnot, this gives you a little bit more of that insurance policy, as you could say.
Cool, awesome. So, being a saltwater angler, some of the fish and you don't hook set, you reel into. Is that the same with the spoons, or is it a hook set to make sure?
My perspective, definitely hook set, because when I'm fishing them, I found the most effective way was, like Luke was saying, is the reel pause. So I give it 3 or 4 cranks and I just stop for a second, let it drop. And the way they say,
how many Mississippis?
Oh, 1.5.
Well, you're probably working the water. You can.
That's a secret, Mike.
Yeah,
that's the secret. How many Mississippis?
Oh yeah.
Start at 1, anglers.
Yeah,
work your way up.
Every day's different.
Creative.
Yeah, every day's different, guys. That's a secret.
But just as far as the retrieve, just maybe a half second pause.
Are you burning it? Or are you?
No,
just depends on the day.
Nice slow cadence.
I like it slow.
Yeah.
I like it really slow. The more time you have your spoon in the water, the more chance it is to get hit, just like the bait, you know?
Maybe that's my problem. I'm like...
If you're too fast, then you're not going to get hit because there's a spin. Yeah, so you have to learn that. You know, you want that flutter effect, like a leaf falling, and that's where you're going to get hit. A lot of the time, that's the highest percentage that I've noticed.
Best line to use, mono or fluoro?
You know what? I like Iser, which is a nice combination of the both. That's just my personal. I do too. So, you know,
hold on.
Yeah.
Hold on. Rule of thumb in my world, 4 to 6.
That's just me. Everyone's different.
I mean, it can be done anywhere.
That's just me, you guys. That's Nor Cal stuff.
Warning. What the stunts you see on this show are performed by trained professionals. 2-pound tests on spoons.
I would recommend 4, to be honest with you guys.
Are you using clips or are you tying directly?
To be honest with you, Mike, I've seen them caught always. My personal preference is a dual lock snap, just due to the fact that it gets that movement. However, I have seen them barrels, straight line, barrel snaps. You know, everyone does their thing different, but these spoons, you're going to get
line
hit.
Twist?
Line twist, that's what we were kind of alluding to as far as that barrel effectiveness. If I were to switch this to, you know, we can solve some of those solutions.
Or you can just go, even if you're running 4 or 6 pound, you got on your main line, you could do a barrel swivel.
Yep.
That's going to reduce your line twist.
Exactly.
That's exactly what I use at Pyramid.
Yep.
Because those fish roll.
The smaller size, the better, because it's not going to affect your spoon at all. The flutter. You want the lightest weight out there.
That size.
You know?
You just get the smallest one on the
0, 1. You know, go
0.
to. Yep.
Obviously.
And I stay away from swivels. I like just the dual lock snap, because if I get any line twist, I know when I pull that spoon out of the water, if it starts to twist, I'm doing it wrong.
Okay.
I'm going too fast, and that kind of keeps me honest.
It's paying attention, not just what you're doing, anglers, but everything you're doing on the water. Okay, what your bait's doing, what your lure's doing, what your spoon's doing, to make it more effective for success. See how it all comes back to the freaking theme? Success. And both of these guests today, both of my friends, old and new.
Yep.
Old and new.
Yeah.
Are having success, you know? So why Pro Staff? You know, that's, I mean, like we were talking about marketing strategies. You know, you have a great product. You're finding great people to stand behind it. But what's up, anglers? Have you checked out the Made baits yet? Head over to troutmade.com. Check out all 5 colors we've released so far. That's right, so far. Keep an eye out for more releases coming soon. Get your Made baits literally getting made these days. Thank you guys so much for the support. We'd love to be part of your trout arsenal. Get made. All right, anglers, we are back. We're going to wrap it up with Luke James, RHA Tackle, Real Hooked Anglers, man. It's been a great show, man. We've been vibing, had a good time, dude. I've had a great time.
Yeah, me too, man. It's been fun.
Yeah.
Thanks for inviting me.
Absolutely, man. I'm glad we were able to hook up, connect. One thing we did not talk about, all right, when fishing your spoons, and I want to touch on, and it's going to be obvious, but what kind of rod do you use? And what's your recommendation for fishing these spoons?
Man, I'm glad you brought that up. So, like we've been talking, and the theme of the whole show is respecting and supporting your own local anglers, you know. I know Phoenix is not that local to me. However, it is still Cali based. And you know what? Phoenix Rods is one of the best brands that I've tossed, you know. They even accommodated me enough to throw me an iron feather, and I haven't looked back since I've had that rod. You know, it's the top of the echelon.
I fished it. I love it.
The best finesse as well as the strength behind it, due to the fact of how they make it. I just recently picked up my black chrome. We're using it on my Colorado trip. It was really, really good for the
what length do you use?
I believe I got that 7/8.
7/8. Okay.
Yeah, I think I got the smallest one that they got, 2-piece. I kind of like, you know, the maneuverability with the smaller ones, just in case, you know, I got a lot of cover behind me and stuff. Yeah. I'm in those creeks. I'm in those like little river systems or whatnot, or if I'm steelhead fishing. I like the ability to be able to, you know, like if I need to run into the water or do what I got to do to sacrifice to catch that fish, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna have to dedicate myself and take that into my own hands, and I just don't want to break off anything from any casts over here or any systems like that.
Absolutely.
You know, so
I run the 9.2. I use the 9.2 at Pyramid. There's nothing around you, so you got plenty of casting distance. I got the 8.2, so I'm gonna be using that too. A little shorter, you know. So I think it's a little bit more casting distance, but the backbones, they're amazing. You know, you mentioned steelhead fishing. You've caught some steelhead. What's your PB steelhead? Let's talk about some let's brag a little bit right now before we get out of here. What's your PB steelhead?
You know what, man? I don't have that much bragging rights as far as the steelhead goes.
But you've caught a few. I'd imagine.
As a kid in Redding, actually, over Red Bluff area, I was lucky enough to get some on some Blue Fox and Thomas Buoyants.
Sick.
So they're heavy enough to get down there in that water column and whatnot, and that drift wasn't too crazy. To answer your question, I'd say under 10. It wasn't a double digit, but it was still big enough as a kid to take me ripping down that shoreline, and it was an exciting fight that got me hooked for life. And you know what? I got made that day. And I couldn't look back,
Hell yeah.
So it's all about getting made and, like, you know, following your passions and stuff. And
absolutely.
And that was a dream come true. And just this company has been a dream come true, you know, and one of the passions I've been following. So
you have to follow your passion, man.
With life, yeah, you know, you don't want to live in a dogma, living through someone else's expectations. And I figured out, you know, finally it took me this long throughout my life and to figure out my little niche. So that's a little lesson I'd like to share with you anglers is, you know, whatever it is that you're trying to do and whatever you're trying to accomplish, don't let those haters affect you. It's all about you and keeping focused on what you're doing, you know, and stay driven and stay channeled into that positivity.
Whatever you're doing in your life, you know, angling, work, whatever it is, whatever you have a passion for. And if you guys don't know, I want to let the anglers know, steelhead, you know, we have our trout series. We covered the rainbow trout, a little bit about that, info, history. The steelhead trout is a ocean-ran trout. So they grow up and eat in the ocean. They come back to the river systems to spawn. Am I correct or am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean...
Where did you catch yours?
It was over in Red Bluff.
So it was a river system?
Yeah, river system.
Okay.
You know, fast current.
Man,
a lot of people like to throw the bobbers and drift some eggs a row, you know, as they call it.
Center pinning also?
Exactly. So different people also do jigs throughout that too. You know, there's a lot of different methods. Soft plastics you can do. You can do the different flies if you want to drift that. You could do the row. However, I was more comfortable and confident, as we were alluding to earlier, with the method in which I was using.
Hard baits. As
an 8-year-old reeling in under a 10-pound steelhead, you're just straight, like, there's nothing you can compare to that. You know, it's a thrill of a lifetime, and I can't forget that moment, and it's just been incredible since, you know. So you try to
steelhead's on my list. It's coming probably next season, next year. Definitely want to get that off the check mark. You know what I mean?
Definitely.
PB trout. PB trout.
Hey, and then if you want, bro.
Yeah.
I might have to extend an offer over here this next year once the salmon fishing heats up.
Oh, let's do it. Dude,
you know,
that would be
have to link up for a video.
That would be awesome, dude.
I think that.
Let's do that. What do you get? Hey, if you guys want salmon fishing, RHA Tackle, Nor Cal on a boat, drop a comment, drop a like right now. We'll make that video happen. We're gonna make it happen anyways. You'll get the video anyways, but drop it in the comment, man, if you guys want to see that. That's what we're trying to do here in this channel. Knock out all these species of trout. Get you guys that experience. If you guys can get out there, motivate you to get out there. Even if you can't, put it on your bucket list. Okay, so what's your PB trout? Rainbow trout? What's that?
At the moment, I'm looking at 11.92, I believe.
Nice, bro.
Nice, bro. It was a holdover at Quarry Lakes over there in Fremont, California.
Okay.
That lake is known as Horseshoe Lakes.
Okay, I've heard it,
It's funny, there's a pipe system that goes throughout, and all these fish are allowed to congregate through different lake systems. Some are more
That's interesting,
private.
Really? Some
you can fish. Not a lot of people know all the secrets that I do. However, I might keep that a little hush-hush for later videos that you guys might have to tune into.
You have a YouTube channel as well? Or you're starting one?
I got a lot of videos from the past. Just starting some with my own personal product. Not 100% sure how I want to launch it yet. If you guys want to drop some comments as far as if you want to see some bait and weight, or if you want to see both, or just my spoons, you know, I'm open to that. I'd appreciate that.
Let them know.
To help some input, you know. And that can help get me a little bit, you know, grounded and foundation for that. So regardless, I'm going to get a YouTube channel started here in the future.
Nice.
Just not 100% sure as far as the logistics.
You got a lot going on with that baits already.
10-4.
Right? All right, Luke, we're going to wrap it up, and I'm going to do something different to wrap it up to end this. And the first two guests on the Get Made show, I didn't do this. We're learning as we go, as we grow, and the ideas are coming. So we're going to wrap it up. We're going to get made right now. M-A-D-E, okay? We're going to go through this. I'm asking you 4 questions.
Yeah.
All right? So it's like shoot fire, okay?
All right, cool.
All right? So we're going to get made right now with Luke James, RHA Tackle. Everything you need to know, anywhere you need to find RHA Tackle is in the descriptions below, okay? So, all right, Luke, we're going to get made right now. So, motivation. What motivates you?
I'd say other anglers motivate me. You know, I want to put these new generations onto the same things that I have enjoyed and have been shared with my father and different things. I understand that things are going to be different as far as what we experienced because it's not the same value. I know there's a lot of like things.
There's all kinds of variables why it's not the same.
I'm hoping it's the same positive kind of spin I had as a kid to keep those generations keeping that same tradition that I like to promote. You know, that's one of the things that motivates me. That's
awesome. We've been talking on and off camera, and I'm just picking. This dude is so just selfless, man. You know, and humble as well. So that's awesome. Other anglers, man, and that's what it's about. You know, I watch other anglers. My friends motivate me too to get out there, do this, do that. But other anglers on YouTube motivate me to do things and to learn and to grow. So that's awesome, dude. Other anglers, that's the motivation. All right. When's your next adventure?
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We are going to be fishing tomorrow. Big Bear Lake, ending out the Western Outdoor News Trout Cast Tournament 2021. I did not enter the tournament. I showed up late this evening. It's about almost 1 a.m. right now, anglers. We are here. Luke, dude, you're salute, man. You are a trooper, bro. Trooper, but we're making it happen. We have to.
Yeah.
All right, cool. So, what keeps you determined, man? You know what I mean? It's a grind and not giving up. What keeps you determined?
The thing that keeps me, to answer that question better, I'd say keeps me driven. What keeps me driven is
you still use the D.
Self-improvement.
Okay.
Constantly, nice. I'm every day. I'm trying to learn things from other anglers. I'm trying to learn things for myself. As Mike said, I'm very humble. I feel that once you get that big head and you're arrogant, then you stop growing. If you get that arrogance and you start getting into that negative mindset, that's not going to do anything good for you. So I try to wrap myself around that positivity.
PMA, positive made attitude.
It gives me that ability to educate myself and continue growing, as I alluded to.
That's awesome, man. Awesome. Self-improvement. I was just talking about that with my cousin. I do self-improvement every morning. Listen to something motivational outside of angling, outside of fishing. You know what I mean? Just to start your day off with that, like, positive mindset, man, and saying, like, you could do anything you want to do. Today's going to be a great fucking day. I'm going to make it happen. You know what I mean? I'm going to make it happen for me. Cool. All right, anglers. Luke.
Yeah?
Man, let us know your best, most memorable fishing experience. Because at the end of the day, anglers, getting made is about the experience, man. And that's all you're going to, whether you catch fish or not, okay, you're taking away that experience. You can learn from that experience, okay? So tell me about your greatest fishing experience.
Man, it happened actually to be my birthday this last year. I was lucky enough. I know it wasn't on my spoons. However, sometimes the bait and weight game works, you know.
No shame in the power bait.
That's right.
No shame in that.
So a lot of the time I'll try to do the one pull bait and weight, and the other pole, you know, I'm throwing cast retrieve. Doesn't matter which method it is. I'll go through, of course, my spoons first. If that's not working, you know, I'll go through like either Ned rigging or drop shotting or just straight.
Ooh, Ned rig for trout.
So the funny thing is, a lot of people don't know that secret. Maybe I shouldn't have.
I knew it, but yeah.
But yeah, that's one of the tricks that I use in my repertoire. So
when it's slow, that's super finesse.
You pop, you go to the slow straight bottom game if they're not in the top water column or medium.
That might work at a couple lakes in SoCal, because there's times where you're leaving the mini jigs on the bottom of the floor and they're just picking them up.
It's almost just like not even doing anything is the best thing. You just let it drop, and then maybe a little pop, and then at that point, boom, you're already on. Sometimes that's been some of the success that I've had.
Every tackle shop's going to be sold out of Ned rigs tomorrow.
I recommend
yeah, what size?
So what I recommend is either 1/10, 1/8. RHA Tackle is coming out with some of these eyeball Ned rigs here, possibly some Texas
dropping fire on the Get Made show.
So
dropping fire on the Get Made show for you guys.
Yeah, drop some comments if you guys want to see that. I would really appreciate some feedback. You know, it's been working for me, but I've been keeping it on the hush hush. Since we kind of alluded to one of my secrets, I might as well just drop a little bit more info here.
Please do, please do.
So that's just one of my secrets that I've been using if you know, my spoons aren't working. But a lot of the time, you know, you just have to go through the complete arsenal of your tackle box, and the more you have in the variety, and the more techniques you know, and the more experience you have, the better you are off as an angler in the whole. So
absolutely, well put, well said. I think we're gonna wrap it up, Luke.
Yeah.
Right there, man. You just got made on the Get Made show. Thanks for sharing your experience, your story, your motivation, your passion with us, with me, the anglers. I appreciate you being on the Get Made show. We're definitely gonna have to do it again. We'll follow up maybe after the season's over, see how you do.
Excellent. I appreciate you having me, dude, and respect the heck out of you. And
I respect you, brother.
It's humbled to have me here. And extremely feeling blessed to have all the friends and family here with us, you know. No matter what happens, anglers, it's not about the results, it's about the experience along the way. Absolutely. And when it comes down to helping other anglers, not about Nor Cal, not about SoCal. We're here in California. We're building bridges right here. And, dude, this is one of many collaborations. RHA Tackle anglers, I am super blessed and super stoked to have them on the Get Made show. And it's perfect timing, man. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Luke, James, RHA freaking Tackle, man. Thank you, bro. Thank you. That's it, anglers. Till next time, this is Mike. I'm Mike. This is the Get Made show. And you just guys got made with RHA Tackle, Luke James, one more time. We'll catch you guys later. Out. Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah, dude.